Listen to me, every single one of us has been underestimated, doubted, laughed at, or even betrayed. People will tell you that you're not enough, that you can't, that you shouldn't, that you won't. And sometimes those voices get so loud you start to believe them. But here's the truth. You are not broken. You are not fragile. You are not weak. They cannot break you unless you hand them the hammer. Life is not about what they do to you. It's about what you decide to do with it. Pain, that's fuel. Struggle, that's the gym your soul trains in. Rejection, that's redirection toward a better path. Every single challenge you faced was never there to destroy you. It was there to reveal you. You see, nobody controls your spirit unless you open the door and give them the key. Nobody decides your worth unless you accept their label as your truth. The moment you stand up and say, no, I define me, you take your power back. And once you take it back, no one, no critic, no doubter, no enemy can touch it. Think about it. Diamonds are created under pressure. Steel is forged in fire, and muscles only grow when they're pushed to the limit. Why would you be any different? The pressure, the heat, the pain, it's shaping you into someone unshakable. So stop waiting for people to believe in you. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for the world to hand you permission. You don't need it. You never did. The only permission you need is the decision to believe in yourself when nobody else does. And hear me on this. When they tell you you're not enough, you smile and say, watch me. When they try to tear you down, you stand taller. When they doubt your strength, you let your results do the talking. Because the truth is, they can throw stones, they can build walls, they can laugh at your dreams, but they cannot break you unless you surrender. So rise up, take your power back, lock it in, burn it into your heart. They can't break you unless you let them. And you are unbreakable. People are going to talk about you no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, no matter how pure your intentions are. And if you're waiting for the world to stand in line to applaud your every move, you're going to be waiting forever. The truth is, the world loves to throw labels at people. They call you lazy. They call you weak. They call you unworthy. They call you average. They tell you you're not enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not strong enough. They'll judge you based on where you come from, on what you look like, on what you've been through, on your mistakes, on your failures. And the trap most people fall into is they start believing it. They wear the labels like clothes that don't fit, walking around carrying the weight of someone else's opinion like it's gospel truth. But here's the reality. You are not what they call you. You are what you decide to answer to. Think about it. A label is just a word. A criticism is just noise. An opinion is just air leaving someone else's mouth. None of it has the power to shape your destiny unless you take it in, swallow it, and make it part of who you are. Too many people live small lives because they've accepted the world's small labels. They let a teacher who doubted them, a parent who discouraged them, a boss who undervalued them, or a friend who mocked them become the voice inside their own head. They repeat those words until they start to sound like truth, and before long, they live in a cage built out of other people's opinions. But cages don't lock themselves. You lock yourself inside when you forget that you're the one holding the key. Your worth isn't measured by someone else's perception of you. It's measured by what you bring to the table, by the character you build, by the resilience you show, by the way you rise when life knocks you down. And if you decide to stop wearing the labels they throw at you, you'll realize you've been free all along. The difference between someone who breaks through and someone who breaks down is the decision not to let the world write their story. You have a pen in your hand, but if you let every critic and doubter take turns writing, don't be surprised when the story doesn't reflect who you truly are. The truth is, no one really knows your journey but you. They don't know the nights you cried yourself to sleep, the mornings you dragged yourself out of bed when you wanted to quit, the sacrifices you've made, the battles you've fought in silence, the fire that keeps you moving forward when everything in your life told you to stop. How could they possibly define you when they've never walked a single step in your shoes? And yet, too many people hand their self-worth over to outsiders who barely know them, to critics who only see the surface, to doubters who can't even imagine what they're capable of. You've got to understand something deeply. Opinions are cheap and critics are everywhere. It doesn't cost anyone a dime to throw shade, to doubt you, to dismiss you, to laugh at your dreams. But if you let those voices in, if you let them set up camp in your head, they'll rob you of everything you're meant to become. The question isn't whether they'll talk, because they always will. The question is whether you'll listen. So the choice is yours. You can choose to carry their criticism like a weight that holds you down, or you can choose to let it bounce off and keep moving forward. You can choose to let their words plant seeds of doubt in your heart, or you can choose to plant your own seeds of belief and water them until they grow. You can choose to shrink yourself to fit their labels, or you can tear those labels off and step into your true size. And the moment you realize that the only power opinions have is the power you give them, you'll walk lighter, stand taller, and move freer than you ever have before. People will always try to put you in a box because it makes them comfortable. If they can label you, they don't have to face their own fears. If they can reduce you to a word, they don't have to confront their own limitations. But you're not here to live inside someone else's box. You're here to break it wide open. You're here to be more than they expected, to rise higher than they imagined, to become greater than they ever thought possible. That means deciding every single day that your worth is not negotiable, your identity is not for sale, and your destiny is not up for debate. The most dangerous thing you can ever do is hand over your sense of self to someone who doesn't value it. The most powerful thing you can ever do is reclaim it. Stand in the mirror and tell yourself, I define me. I decide who I am. I decide what I'm worth. And when you walk through life with that conviction, there is no insult, no rejection, no opinion that can stick to you. Because labels only stick if you let them. Criticism only cuts if you give it permission. Opinions only matter if you decide they do. And when you take that power back, you'll realize it's been yours all along, waiting for you to claim it. Every person alive wants life to be smooth, wants the road to be clear, wants the doors to open easily. But that's not how real growth happens, and you know it deep down. The moments that shaped you, the moments that built you, the moments that made you stronger were never the easy days. They weren't the sunny mornings when everything went according to plan. They were the storms, the setbacks, the days when everything seemed against you. Struggles, rejection, and pain are not there to stop you. They're there to sharpen you. They are not roadblocks. They are training grounds, preparing you for the battles you don't even know are ahead, teaching you resilience, forcing you to dig deeper, pushing you to discover the strength you would have never touched if life stayed comfortable. Think about the strongest people, the ones you look at and admire, the ones who inspire you, who carry a presence that commands respect. None of them got there by living an easy life. Every scar they carry, every hardship they've survived, every rejection they've endured has been part of the weight training for their soul. Strength is not built in comfort. Strength is built in resistance. Just like muscles grow only when they are broken down and rebuilt, your character grows when it's tested under pressure. The rejection that felt like the end of the road was actually redirection to a better path. The pain that felt unbearable was actually shaping endurance. The struggle that felt impossible was actually expanding your capacity to handle more than you ever thought you could. It's easy to look at pain and call it punishment, but what if pain is actually preparation? What if every single obstacle that knocked you down was actually the universe building you into the kind of person who doesn't just survive life, but dominates it? When you face rejection, you learn persistence. When you face pain, you learn endurance. When you face struggle, you learn resourcefulness. These are the qualities that separate those who crumble from those who conquer. The road is never meant to be easy because easy roads don't lead to powerful destinations. Easy roads lead to average. Struggles and rejection force you to get creative, force you to rise higher, force you to become someone new in order to keep moving forward. The truth is, too many people see challenges as stop signs when really they're green lights in disguise. The moment life pushes back, that's your signal that you're on the right track. If there's no resistance, it means you're not growing. The resistance means you're getting stronger. It means you're leveling up. Just like a pilot knows that the plane takes off against the wind, not with it, you need the opposition to rise. That opposition is not meant to break you, it's meant to lift you. Without it, you stay grounded. With it, you discover the heights you were created to reach. Rejection is one of the greatest gifts you can ever get, but most people are too blinded by disappointment to see it. That job that turned you away, that person who walked out, that opportunity that slammed the door in your face, those weren't losses. They were redirections. They were guiding you away from what wasn't right for you toward what was better. Every no you've ever received has carried with it the seeds of a bigger yes, if you're willing to keep moving. The problem is people take rejection personally. They attach it to their identity. They let it make them question their worth. But rejection is never about your worth. It's about alignment. Meant for you will find you. But first, you've got to be tough enough to get through the wrong doors closing. Pain works the same way. Nobody likes pain, but pain is the most honest teacher you'll ever have. Pain strips away your excuses. Pain forces you to pay attention. Pain doesn't let you stay the same. Every time you've been in pain, you were being stretched, being taught something, being strengthened in ways you couldn't see at the moment. Looking back, you can always see it clearer. That heartbreak taught you to love yourself first. That failure taught you the value of preparation. That betrayal taught you to trust wisely. That loss taught you to appreciate life on a deeper level. Pain leaves behind gifts if you're willing to look for them, but too many people only focus on the sting instead of the strength it left behind. And then there are the struggles, the day-to-day grind, the uphill battles, the obstacles that seem endless. Those are not signals to quit. They're signals to grow. Every struggle is asking you one question: how bad do you want it? Do you want it enough to fight through fatigue, enough to push through fear, enough to outlast doubt, enough to keep swinging when your arms are tired? Struggles reveal your true commitment. Anyone can dream, anyone can start, but only those who endure the struggle finish. The struggle is where the transformation happens. It's where average stops and greatness begins. When you change your perspective on struggle, rejection, and pain, your whole life changes. Instead of asking, why me? You start asking, what is this teaching me? Instead of saying, this is unfair, you start saying, this is preparing me. Instead of running from it, you run into it, because you know that on the other side of struggle is strength, on the other side of rejection is redirection, and on the other side of pain is power. The reason most people never tap into their full potential is because they run from the very experiences that were designed to unlock it. They numb their pain instead of learning from it. They take rejection as a dead end instead of as a detour. They see struggle as a reason to quit instead of a reason to rise. But if you can flip the script, if you can look at every struggle, every rejection, every ounce of pain as training, then you'll stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as a warrior in training. And warriors don't cry about the weight. They train under it because they know that when the real battle comes, the weight is what gave them the strength to win. Your destiny requires resilience. Your future requires strength. Your greatness requires endurance. None of that can be built in a life of ease. It can only be built in the furnace of struggle, in the rejection that forces you to believe in yourself when nobody else does, in the pain that pushes you to dig deeper than you thought possible. And if you can embrace that truth, then nothing will ever feel like a roadblock again, because you'll know it's only a training ground, only a test, only preparation for the life you're meant to live. From the time we are young, most of us are conditioned to chase approval. We want our parents to be proud, our teachers to give us recognition, our friends to like us, our peers to accept us, our bosses to validate us. And at first, it feels natural. It feels like part of life. You think to yourself, if people clap for me, if they smile at me, if they say I'm good enough, then I must be doing something right. But what nobody tells you is that if you build your life on the shaky foundation of other people's approval, you will always be at their mercy. You will bend when they want you to bend. You will hide when they want you to hide. You will shrink when they feel uncomfortable with your greatness. And little by little, you will lose the most valuable thing you will ever have, your power. The truth is, as long as you're chasing approval, you'll never be free. You'll spend your days editing yourself, censoring yourself, adjusting yourself to fit someone else's expectation. You'll second guess your instincts, doubt your vision, and silence your voice just to avoid the risk of someone not liking you. But here's the reality. No matter how much you try to please people, no matter how perfect you try to be, no matter how many times you sacrifice your own needs for theirs, there will always be someone who disapproves, someone who criticizes, someone who thinks you should be different. Chasing approval is a game you can never win because the rules keep changing depending on who you're trying to impress. Taking back your power begins the exact moment you decide that who you are is not up for negotiation. It begins when you stop asking for permission to live your life your way. It begins when you stop waiting for validation from people who don't even understand your vision. It begins when you stand in the mirror and declare that you will define yourself by your own standards, not by the ever-changing opinions of others. Approval is addictive, but it's also a trap. Because once you get a taste of it, you want more, and when it disappears, you feel empty. But real power comes from knowing that even if nobody claps for you, you will keep moving, you will keep growing, you will keep building, because you are not here to perform for an audience, you are here to fulfill a purpose. Think about how much of your life has been shaped by approval. How many times have you silenced yourself in a room because you didn't want to upset someone? How many dreams have you pushed aside because someone told you it wasn't realistic? How many opportunities have you let slip away because you were afraid people would laugh at you? How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no, all because you didn't want to disappoint? Every one of those moments was a small exchange. You gave away a piece of your power in exchange for temporary approval. And the problem is, those pieces add up until one day you look in the mirror and don't even recognize the person staring back because they are no longer who you decided to be. They are a college of everyone else's expectations. The most liberating day of your life will be the day you stop caring about whether or not people approve of you. That doesn't mean you become arrogant. That doesn't mean you stop respecting others. It means you stop building your identity around their opinions. It means you stop needing their applause to feel good about yourself. It means you stop letting their criticism make you question your worth. Because when you stop seeking approval, you begin to operate from authenticity. You start moving in alignment with who you really are, not who they want you to be. And when you move in authenticity, you unlock a level of freedom and confidence that approval could never give you. Deciding who you are for yourself takes courage. It means saying no when people expect you to say yes. It means standing alone when everyone else is moving in a different direction. It means taking risks that others don't understand. It means choosing the path that feels true to your heart, even if it confuses the crowd. And yes, it means some people will walk away, some people will criticize, some people will judge. But here's the truth. If your identity is so fragile that it crumbles under someone else's disapproval, it was never truly yours to begin with. Real identity is built from the inside out, not from the outside in. When you decide who you are, you take control of your story. You're no longer a character in someone else's script. You're the author of your own. You decide your values. You decide your priorities. You decide your vision. You decide how far you will go, how much you will grow, how high you will rise. And once you make that decision, nobody can take it from you. Opinions may come, criticism may come, disapproval may come, but none of it matters because you are no longer operating on their approval. You are operating on your decision. Too many people live in a prison with invisible bars. The walls are built out of fear of rejection. The locks are made of other people's opinions, and the guards are their own insecurities. But the key has always been in their pocket. The moment you stop seeking approval, those bars disappear. The prison dissolves. You realize you've been free all along. You just didn't know it because you were holding yourself hostage with the belief that you needed someone else to tell you who you were allowed to be. Taking back your power is about reclaiming your choices. It's about saying, this is my life, and I will not live it according to someone else's script. It's about having the courage to say no when no is right for you. It's about having the courage to say yes to your dreams, even when nobody else sees them. It's about stepping into rooms without shrinking, speaking your truth without hesitation, and building a life that reflects your values instead of someone else's approval checklist. And when you live that way, something incredible happens. You start attracting the right people, the ones who respect you for who you are instead of trying to mold you into who they want. You start attracting opportunities that align with your authentic self instead of ones that drain you. You start living with a power that can't be taken away because it was never borrowed in the first place. It was built. And the moment you stop chasing approval, you finally start chasing purpose. You stop living for the applause and start living for impact. You stop performing for acceptance and start creating from authenticity. You stop being a puppet on strings and start being a force of your own making. That is the power that was always yours. Waiting for you to claim it, life will never hand you greatness wrapped in a gift box with a bow on top. It doesn't work like that. Greatness is forged. It's carved out of resistance, pressure, doubt, and tax. And if you don't understand that, you'll mistake the very things meant to build you as things meant to break you. Every attack you face, every doubt thrown at you, every obstacle in your path is not a sign that you should quit. It's fuel. It's energy. It's proof that you're on a path worth fighting for. Pressure is not your enemy. It is your ally. Just like a diamond, you are formed through heat, through pressure, through time. Without it, you stay cold. With it, you transform into something unbreakable, valuable, and untouchable. Think about what happens when people attack you. When they criticize, when they mock, when they try to tear you down, it can sting. It can feel unfair. It can even feel personal. But if you flip the perspective, you realize something powerful. People do not attack what doesn't threaten them. People don't waste their energy doubting or tearing down things that don't matter. The fact that you're facing resistance is proof that you're moving, proof that you're shaking something inside of them, proof that you're doing something that forces them to notice. And when they attack, you get to make a choice. Either you let their words weigh you down or you let their words fuel the fire inside of you. Every insult can either be a chain or gasoline. The choice is yours. The same is true for doubt. Doubt from others and doubt from yourself. When people doubt you, when they look you in the eye and say you can't do it, you won't do it, you shouldn't do it, it's not because they can see your limits. It's because they can't see your vision. They project their fears onto you. They tell you what they would or wouldn't do. And if you're not careful, you'll start to believe them. But doubt can be one of the most powerful fuels if you use it right. Every time someone tells you that you can't, it plants a seed of determination to prove them wrong. Every time they count you out, you can let it remind you to count yourself back in. And when self-doubt rises up, when your own voice whispers, "What if I fail?" that's your cue to push harder, to dig deeper, to remind yourself that the only way you'll ever know what you're truly made of is by refusing to let doubt dictate your future. Obstacles work the same way. They show up to test your resolve. They're not there to block you permanently. They're there to make sure you're serious. Because anybody can say they want success. Anybody can talk about dreams, about goals, about vision. But obstacles are the filter. They separate the people who are interested from the people who are committed. They separate the dreamers from the doers. And the truth is, if you're willing to face down the obstacles, climb over them, break through them, or find another way around them, you prove to yourself and to the world that you are worthy of what you're chasing. The obstacle is not the end of the road. It's the gym where your strength is built. Pressure is misunderstood by most people. People think pressure is meant to break you, to crush you, to destroy you. But pressure is the very force that transforms ordinary into extraordinary. Without pressure, coal stays coal forever. But with enough pressure, coal becomes a diamond. That's not a metaphor. That's science. The most valuable, sought-after gem in the world exists because of what it endured, not because of what it avoided. And you're no different. The pressure you're under right now, the challenges, the setbacks, the attacks, the doubts, they're not here to crush you. They're here to refine you. They're here to squeeze out the weakness, the fear, the hesitation, and reveal the power that's been inside you all along. Think about your own life. The times when you felt under the most pressure, when everything seemed like it was closing in on you, when the weight was heavy on your shoulders, those were the times that forced you to rise. Those were the times that unlocked your hidden strength. Those were the times when you discovered what you were really capable of. And even though in the moment it felt overwhelming, when you look back, you realize those were the defining moments. Without them, you would never have become who you are. Without them, you wouldn't have grown the way you did. Without them, you'd still be the same version of yourself you were before the pressure showed up. The secret is to stop running from pressure and start embracing it. To stop fearing obstacles and start welcoming them. To stop resenting doubt and attacks and start thanking them. Because every attack gives you a chance to practice resilience. Every doubt gives you a chance to strengthen your belief. Every obstacle gives you a chance to expand your capacity. And every ounce of pressure is shaping you, molding you, forging you into something stronger, tougher, brighter, and more valuable. You don't become a diamond by avoiding the fire. You don't become a diamond by escaping the weight. You don't become a diamond by hiding from resistance. You become a diamond by facing it, by embracing it, by trusting that the pressure is part of the process. And when you shift your perspective, when you start seeing every attack, every doubt, every obstacle not as a reason to quit, but as fuel to keep going, your entire life changes. You stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances and start realizing you are a product of your decisions. You stop seeing challenges as curses and start seeing them as blessings in disguise. You stop shrinking under pressure and start rising with it. The world doesn't need more people who crumble under resistance. The world needs more diamonds. The world needs people who are willing to endure the pressure, who are willing to take the hits, who are willing to walk through the fire, because those are the people who come out unbreakable. Those are the people who shine. Those are the people who lead. Those are the people who remind everyone else that pressure doesn't destroy what's real. It only destroys what's weak, and what's real only becomes more refined. Every attack, every doubt, every obstacle you're facing right now is fuel. It's not the enemy. It's the energy you need to become who you were meant to be. And the pressure you feel isn't here to bury you. It's here to shape you into the diamond. You already have the potential to become. People will always have something to say about you, no matter what path you take, no matter what decisions you make, no matter how pure your intentions are. You could dedicate your life to doing everything right, and still someone will find a reason to criticize, to gossip, to throw stones your way. That's just the way the world works. There will always be people who can't handle your shine, who can't stomach your growth, who can't bear to see you rise. They will try to pull you down, to slow you down, to box you in. They will throw stones at you to see if you flinch. They will build walls to see if you'll stop climbing. They will doubt your every move just to see if you'll give up on yourself. But here is the truth. They cannot break you unless you give them the permission to. You have to understand that nobody holds the power to destroy you unless you hand it over. Their words can sting, their actions can wound, but unless you accept those wounds as permanent, unless you allow their opinion to rewrite your truth, you remain unshakable. Too often, people live in the shadow of other people's stones. They get hit with insults, with criticism, with hate, and instead of letting it bounce off, they pick up those stones and carry them. They build their own prisons with the rocks that were thrown at them. And then they wonder why they feel so heavy, why they feel stuck, why they feel broken. But the truth is the weight was never theirs to carry. The stones don't belong to you unless you pick them up. Walls are no different. People will build walls around you, trying to limit your vision, trying to contain your potential, trying to box you into what makes them comfortable. They will tell you that you can't do this. You shouldn't dream that big. You don't belong in that room. You're not qualified for that position. You're not worthy of that opportunity. And those walls are designed to intimidate you, to make you settle, to make you turn around and go back to where you started. But walls are only effective if you forget that you have the strength to climb. Every wall that someone builds in front of you is nothing but a challenge for you to rise higher. The wall is not a stop sign. It's a ladder in disguise. And when you climb it, when you push yourself over it, you don't just prove them wrong. You prove yourself right. And then there's doubt. Doubt can be louder than stones, heavier than walls, more suffocating than anything else. People will doubt you because they don't believe in themselves. They'll project their limitations onto you. They'll look at your dream and measure it against their own fears and then hand you back their fear disguised as advice. If you're not strong enough, you'll let their doubt become your doubt. You'll let their fear become your fear. And once you do that, they don't have to break you. You've already broken yourself by believing them. But if you can recognize doubt for what it really is, you can use it as fuel. Every time someone doubts you, you can smile and say, "Thank you for showing me how badly I want this." Every time someone questions your ability, you can remind yourself that their doubt is not a mirror of your reality. It's a reflection of their own limitations. The common thread in all of this is power. They can throw stones, but they can't make you carry them. They can build walls, but they can't make you stop climbing. They can doubt you, but they can't force you to believe them. The only way they break you is if you give them the keys, if you surrender your power, if you let them dictate how you see yourself. And too many people do exactly that. They hand over their power without even realizing it. They let a stranger's comment on social media ruin their day. They let one rejection define their worth. They let one wall stop them from pursuing a dream. They let one stone convince them they're not strong enough to keep going. Every time you allow that, you're handing over your power piece by piece. But when you decide to stop giving it away, everything changes. When you realize that their stones are just noise, that their walls are just tests, that their doubt is just projection, you take back control. You stop reacting to every opinion, every insult, every obstacle, and you start responding with strength. You start seeing attacks as motivation, walls as opportunities, doubt as fuel. You start living from a place of power instead of weakness. And when you do that, nobody can break you, because breaking you requires your cooperation, and you refuse to give it. The truth is, life will always test you with people who underestimate you, criticize you, and try to bring you down. That will never change. What can change is how you respond. You can either absorb their negativity and let it crush you, or you can rise above it and let it refine you. You can either let their stones weigh you down, or you can use them to build your foundation. You can either let their walls box you in, or you can climb them and use the view from the top as proof that you're unstoppable. You can either let their doubt silence you, or you can let it ignite you. The choice will always be yours. Your power is the most valuable thing you have. It's more valuable than money, more valuable than approval, more valuable than status. Because once you own your power, you become untouchable. Once you decide that no stone, no wall, no doubt can dictate your destiny, you become unstoppable. The world will still throw what it throws, but you will stand taller, stronger, unshakable, because you know the truth. They cannot break you unless you hand them the power, and you will never give it away.